This is No Shame, All Play, the podcast where curiosity is welcome and shame gets left at the door. I'm Holly, an intimacy therapist, and I'm here to answer your real questions about sex and relationships. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today's question is, can a relationship survive different libidos? And the short answer is yes, but not without honesty, flexibility, and a willingness to redefine what intimacy actually looks like. One of the biggest myths we're sold about relationships is that healthy couples just magically want sex the same amount of time, at the same time, in the same way forever, and that's just not reality. I call that the Disney fallacy. In almost every long-term relationship, there are going to be seasons where one person wants sex more than the other. Stress, kids, hormones, mental health, medications, trauma, body image, relationship conflict, chronic pain, medical issues, aging, life transitions. These are so many of the different reasons as to why desire and arousal can shift. Different libidos don't automatically doom a relationship. What tends to hurt relationships is the meaning couples attach to it. The higher libido partner might start thinking, you're not attracted to me anymore, or I'm sick of constantly being rejected. And the lower desire partner might start thinking, I'm failing, there's something wrong with me. No matter what I do, it's just never enough. Sex feels like pressure, a chore, or obligation. And once pressure enters the chat, desire and arousal usually get even harder to access. One thing I encourage couples to do is stop thinking about intimacy as a tiny menu with one item on it, penetration. And this is, more tailored to heterosexual couples. If your sexual menu only includes intercourse, then every mismatch starts feeling like an all or nothing problem. Instead, we can broaden the menu and what actually counts as intimacy. Maybe it's sensual touch, maybe it's kissing, massage, showering together, making out, mutual touch, cuddling naked, erotic conversation where you're sharing fantasies, or simply spending intentional time being physically close. For many of the couples that I work with that are struggling with libido differences, I have them do sensate focus exercise, which are structured touch exercises that help couples reconnect with pleasure, curiosity, and safety without pressure or performance. For some couples, broadening intimacy might include one partner masturbating while the other lays next to them, cuddles them, or, they find a way to share the space in a connected way. And this can still be deeply intimate and relational for many couples. The goal is not how do we force ourselves to want the exact same thing at the exact same frequency all the time. Successful couples stop asking that and start asking, what should sex look like for our unique relationship? And they also ask what feels connecting, realistic, and sustainable for us. Now, that doesn't mean ignoring needs or settling for resentment. Different libidos still require honest conversations, compromise, and empathy, and oftentimes professional support. And if you are in a relationship with mismatched desire, I want you to know that it does not mean your relationship is broken. Sometimes it just means it's time to expand the definition of intimacy and stop treating sex like a pass or fail test and start getting curious about what connection could look like in this season of your relationship. Because intimacy is a lot bigger than just penetration alone. Also, I want to say something that feels hard to talk about, honestly. Sometimes, despite love, effort, communication, compromise, creativity, all the things, the libido difference really is significant. And that doesn't automatically mean someone is selfish, broken, needy, avoidant, or failing. Sometimes it simply means two people have genuinely different needs around sex and intimacy. For some couples, broadening the sexual menu and redefining intimacy is more than enough. And for others, scheduling intimacy, compromise, therapy, or changing expectations also helps tremendously. And for some couples, keyword some, opening the relationship in a consensual, ethical, deeply discussed way can become part of the solution. and can actually benefit and enhance their emotional and sexual connection for the better long term. Now, to be clear, opening up a relationship is not for everyone, and it is absolutely not a magic fix for relational problems. It usually works best when the relationship is already strong, communication is solid overall, and both people genuinely want that dynamic. They're not doing it because one person feels pressured or they're afraid of losing the relationship if they don't. But for some couples, ethical non-monogamy can reduce pressure and can create more honesty around needs, desires, and allow partners to maintain emotional connection while acknowledging differences in their sexual desires. And there are a whole plethora of ways that people do ethical non-monogamy. And once again, it's up to the couple to decide what feels right and good for their unique relationship. And for other couples, the idea feels completely wrong for their values, attachment, or relationship goals, and that's okay too. It's not something that's ever pushed in therapy, it's merely presented as an option. There is no one-size-fits-all answer. The question isn't what would everyone else do? The question is what works for our unique relationship and how do we define intimacy individually and together as a couple. And that's it for our show today, everyone. If you have a question about sex and intimacy that you would like answered anonymously on the podcast, please email me at sexwithholly@gmail.com. And until next time, signing off.